Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with round 9, I believe, of the iRacing Formula 4 Southern European Series. Quickly, an apology, unfortunately I was very ill last week, hence why there was no video from either this or the Northern European event. But we are back tonight. I believe we've got 4 rounds to go of the championship.
27 Celsius.
And we are heading to Jerez. Yes, a very fun little circuit. One, of course, that is no stranger to open-wheel Formula racing. Hopefully we can have a good, clean race tonight. We had a lot of fun last week at Aussie and the Red Bull Ring. So hopefully it can continue once more. Well, we line up P6 then as the number 10 car. I must admit, quite happy with the qualifying lap that I did, but it still left us well over a second away from pole position. Of course, this series is still kind of overlapping with the road to 10k iRacing. But of course, you know, I've been doing this series now for the last 2 months, so I wanted to keep it kind of half separate, kind of half involved. But yeah, we want to gain iRating and SR either way.
The track temp is 27. The air temp is 24 Celsius. 6th place. Concentrate. Be ready. Go.
Oh, not my best reaction. But it's lights out and away we go, and the top 3 almost coming together immediately as P3 clearly got the best start out of any of them. Up in towards turn 1. Just going to try and hang out on the outside there and just try and make it through the first couple of turns nice and quickly. Yeah, clearly our P3 starter wants to try and get on with it. We will have the inside throughout the next couple of corners, so we should be through. There we go. So I haven't lost anything off the start, despite my, well, 95-year-old reaction times. Seem to always get stick about my reactions on this game, but, you know, apparently it must just be me. Always say Formula 1 drivers don't need quick reactions, do they? As, oh, that's going to cost me. Just a little nudge of the gravel as we head down the back straight, and everyone is going to come pouring through. Oh! And maybe pouring through. No! Why are you going, man? I think we got away with it. I believe. What's he doing? I believe we might just have got away with it. Might have a tiny bit of damage on the wing, but yeah, guy behind got way too hot and has taken out at least 2 other cars, maybe a third. If you include myself. Whoa, that car, good job. That's one time when you don't want to hold the brake, as we've still got plenty of cars running off then and off the circuit on lap 1.
Yellow flag.
But yeah, nightmare for us, as we lose a lot of places and there really wasn't much else we can do. Can we have a look down the inside of this guy? There's more carnage going on, as we will make it through. And yeah, some of these lower iRacing drivers definitely want to just try and get past as soon as we can. Should be able to have a look down the inside here, which we will. So how bad is the damage then by the end of lap 1? How many places have we lost? So there was really nothing we could do after we made the small mistake in the gravel. We are down to P10, I believe. So it could have been a lot worse, but also could have been a whole lot better. But this would only lose us 5 iRating if we were to finish here, and there are still a lot of slower cars in front. So lap 1 has definitely been a race of attrition. We'll take a look at the incident report once the race is done. But now we've got to kind of knuckle down and try to close back up to some of these lower iRated cars in front of me, as we'll take our first tear off of the day. 2 more spinners, don't rejoin. It's just trying to... It's Carmageddon here at the moment, so we're basically back up to where I qualified then by the end of lap 2, as long as I don't do anything stupid through these final couple of corners. How much still of a race of attrition is this F4 series? I'm going to run the later evening races now due to other commitments, but we're often usually only getting 1 split. This car in front of me into the pit lane then. So I believe this will be us back up to where we started, despite everything that's gone on inside the opening couple of laps. Yes, we will. Robert is going to be up into P5. Still a couple of fairly quick cars behind me, but that is P6. Quite remarkable. Yep, there we go. P6 again. Back to 35 iRating gain. Robert just in front of me, braking very early through the final corner. Our top runners still looking very quick here, but yeah, we have closed up rather rapidly to Robert in front. Just kind of make him wonder if we're going to go for a move down at turn 1. But we'll sit behind as he's really struggling. I think we've got to try and go for it. Whoa, come on, man. Gotta up the pace just a little bit. Let's try and get round him. Definitely not going to be able to do anything the long way around there. But, you know, if we can have some good wheel-to-wheel racing still, I won't complain at all. Looking at Gabriel as well, 9 seconds up the road. That's quite a big gap. But might be able to close it to him if his pace is representative of his iRacing there. But as we make our way then down the back straight, the best opportunity to try and make some moves here. Are we going to see this guy go a bit defensive? We'll have a look down the inside. But he's not having any of it. He's going to try and cover us off there. Might be able to try and put the power down off the corner and line up a run. But again, just not quite able to. These cars, you know, you can't really, unless you get quite a big switchback. It's not often viable particularly well just because they haven't got that much power. And of course, they've got a fair share of downforce to keep them all gripped up nice and tidy. But yeah, this guy's doing a pretty good job. You know, if you're new to iRacing or new to sim racing in general, and you want to learn how to defend your position, this guy's doing kind of all the basics very, very well here. Just making my life difficult, not being too aggressive or unpredictable or anything like that. A little bit slow in a couple of spots, but can't really help that. As again, I'm going to have a look to the inside. Again, not going to happen. Can we switch him this time round out of the final corners? We'll try and get on the loud pedal as early as we can, and surely this time around we might just be able to get a bit of a run to make our way back up in towards turn 1. Crew chief wants me to go on the aggressive. We'll have a look down.
Still a clear car left. Clear left.
Okay, everything I just said about how he was getting all the basics right. Unfortunately, crew chief loves violence, quite clearly. Yeah, unfortunately, just went out the window there right at the end. I think he thought I didn't quite have the car alongside, but I definitely did. And yeah, unfortunately 10x already, 2 rather small 4x's. He's going to mean we're definitely not going to get any SR out of this, which is bad, because my SR is not looking good. That's going to be a 1x as well, which is going to continue to not do me favours.
Keep it between the white lines.
Someone span, I believe that might be Gabriel in front. This might be a freebie for us. No, sadly, it's a lap car. Ricardo there having a bit of a nightmare. But yeah, we're going to have to try and start just monitoring the gap to Gabriel in front. Made a mistake last lap, which brought us a whole lot closer, but almost at half distance, we have got to really start bringing our A game if we want to get to him. I still feel like I'm getting pretty much everything I can out of the car, but the damage that we have picked up is probably costing us ultimately probably just over a second a lap, I reckon. I think we could have been in the mid to low 43s had we not sustained any damage in that lap 1 incident, or maybe even obviously that incident a couple of laps ago either. So I think we're probably going to have to try and lock down this P5 towards the end of this race. We've got 4-second gap to the guy behind. I mean, 45 I rating is nothing to scoff at. It's a shame our SR is going to take another big hit though.
You've got half your fuel left.
This is the problem. I say all that, and then Gabriel makes another mistake that costs him 3 seconds. And you just think, you know, have we got a chance? Is there an opportunity still to get back in this fight? He's not particularly consistent. He has made a few errors like that today. And yeah, we just get a nice little chunk of time back out of him.
That lap was a 143.5. Good lap.
Helped by the fact that we have finally broke back into the 43s. So clearly we're still finding something in this car. Oh, I think he's had another error. Yes, he definitely has. Another half spin and another second and a half or so will come out of Gabriel. I don't think we can do this on raw pace. I certainly think if he keeps making errors, we can try and pick up the pieces. As what's happened to P3? Have we seen someone drop out? No, it was just Mauro and Gilles battling towards the front. Or one of the other battles. That I haven't been watching it. He's Guilherme behind. Less than 2 seconds back. We might be in a defensive fight into towards the final couple of laps here because he is flying. There we go. Final lap then of the race. Looks like the guy in front is starting to get a little bit caught up behind some lap traffic. Hopefully they will jump out of the way, which doesn't really look like they are. Not how I want to get into this fight, but oh no, come on. I will certainly take it if I can. What is Diego doing up there? That is really not good blue flag etiquette at the moment. Still trying to fight it, I believe, as yeah, Guilherme Still continuing to close in the gap behind, so it is all still to play for late on in the day. Oh, come on, Matt, where am I going? Big moment there, and Guillemot will get straight around the outside of me. The easiest move I'll make today, I'm sure.
Don't panic.
And a mistake there on lap 1, and a mistake on the final lap. We have really paid the price, up to 15x though, although that being said, Guillemot not surviving this perfectly. Might still be an opportunity in towards the final couple of corners if we can shake him up just a little bit. Just takes one little mistake there, just try and get the car dialed in as best as possible. Because yeah, I think Gabriel has just decided to let Diego go. Just because it's not worth fighting with the lap car, but really shouldn't have been a concern for him.
The gap's now 0.5.
Oh, come on, I'm at 16x. I can't afford another one.
Keep it between the lines.
So we make our way through the final few corners. 16x here, we're going to lose our B license, which is not a good thing, but I've got Fuji this weekend, which hopefully will give me an opportunity to try and recover some. But can we fill his mirrors through the final corner? We'll go. He certainly will, but it won't be enough. It is only going to be P6 then in the end. A really stupid mistake to make on the final lap of the race, but P6 to P6 then, on paper, looks like a fairly undramatic race. Let's go take a look at the incident report and, of course, our final race results. Well, let's run on board then with some incidents. Oh, you can just see, ran a little bit wide on lap 1, and we'll immediately find a barrier. Don't know why we get so many cuts to black. Here's the big one, though. The Red Bull Porsche livery, he's just messed that up awfully. Has he got away with that? Scot-free as well? I think he might have done. He's driven away from that. He's had nothing. No damage, nothing at all. Whether he believed it was netcode, it certainly wasn't. That is sickening. Purple car, though, up behind the Red Bull one. Are we going to see some karma being dished out? No, we're going to see a way too optimistic lunge. That is some pretty atrocious driving, it must be said. Drove straight through him and sent him to the shadow round. Karma is not being dished out here. Red Kellogg's car trying to get into the pit lane. And I'd be very annoyed if I was the other car there, because clearly he had no idea where he was going, and we got 3 of them all almost crashing into each other into the pit lane. Yellow car down in towards the final sector. The number 14 just drops it. And another car's going to drop it and get collected, and I believe a third one actually went in as well. As wave to me as we drive through and pick up some pieces. Vodafone McLaren car, a bit of a throwback to my former years in Formula 1. It's just going to drop the back end. That's almost a really unsafe rejoin. You've got to be more careful with those, lads. Alpine car this time round. Just going to lose it at the bottom of the hill. Again, he was lucky there was no one else coming then on the rejoin, because that could have been nasty. And again, the Alpine car. Optimistic, and he's going to pay the price. Into the sandpit he goes. We go back then, I believe it's... I don't know what kind of car it is. Ricaldo Sim Racing. Oh, don't rejoin. Oh, that was scary. And once again then with the Vodafone car. I think forgetting which layout he's doing here. Just locking up the rears, but we'll get on with it. Here we go. Another car. Just really struggling to try and get the car rotated. And at the end of Sector 2. Luckily, he's just about going to be off the line. And he's not going to beach it, which is rather lucky then. Vodafone McLaren car again does not like this chicane. And he's going to find another way to spin down there. This time around right on the racing line, but luckily no one else coming. And it's the Ricaldo again. Optimistic on the brakes. And is he going to rejoin badly? He's going to hit the wall in the rejoin badly. And that might have been some really bad rear end damage. Red Bull car spinning through the final corner. Going to try and get back on the road and spin across the circuit. And lucky the other car there was very, very cautious and aware in the McLaren. He's still going to give him a ridiculous squeeze. He's just avoided you out of the final corner, and you're still going to squeeze him like that and hit him in towards turn 1. That is, I mean, that's a Red Bull driver if ever I've seen him. I mean, that's disgusting. This might be some of the most... What's he doing? He actually thinks he's Max Verstappen. That is impressive. How much he thinks he is Max Verstappen here. He's again going to try and crowd him out through the next corner. This is impressively bad driving at the moment. Up the hill. Is he going to get away with it? Oh, if I was the McLaren, I'd be so tempted just to turn him. I can't lie. But that is some Max Verstappen driving for you all. And later on in the day, the Molecule car just with a very lazy spin down at turn 1. An annoying one to make, but I don't think they're going to lose a spot from it. Another one for the Molecule car. Maybe he's overcooked the rears, and this time around he is going to lose a spot. And 2. And 3. Taking a look then at our final race results. Minus 0.2 SR there. Somehow we have hung on to my B license still. 35 iRacing gain though in all of that is not too disappointing. Definitely could have had a little bit more in the process there. But shout out to Andrea. Led that thing from start to finish. P1 on the grid. Fastest lap of the day. Every lap led. A 22nd race victory come the end of that. A well-deserved 89 championship points. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like. Get yourself subscribed. And we'll be back very, very soon with more iRacing content. A massive thank you to all of my YouTube members and my Patreon supporters for their continued donations to help my work. These things go much further than I think a lot of you ever realise and allow me to continue making content full-time here on YouTube. So if you want to support me from as little as £1 a month and be featured on all of these end clips, either click the join button next to the subscribe or head over to my Patreon. There's a link down in the description.